Hello, hello, hello. If you are here expecting the webinar entitled The List Building Super Formula, then you are in the right place. We're due to start in about 4 minutes from now. Just going to try and turn Richie's voice on.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Richie. Yep.
Excellent. Oh, looking forward to this. Excited. As a very excited person who has something in particular to be excited about.
So, can you see my screen?
List
Or can
building
you see that
super
slide?
formula. No, we can't see a screen. We see a slide. List building super formula. Hey, Bob.
Oh,
Hey, John. Hey, Michael.
You still there, Richie?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hey, Brian.
Okay.
Oh, Michael can hear me. Michael
I can't hear you, Richie. That's the odd thing.
Okay.
Come on. What's going on?
We've got Brian Jones, Michael
Great.
Brew, Bob.
But it's just me. Oh, what's this? Let me see if I can hear you now, Richie.
Okay. Can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
I can. Yeah.
Can. Okay.
I had. When you switch over on this platform to tell it that you want to share screen, it drops your sound down to nothing while it switches over, and then you've got to manually turn it back up. So that's a bit odd.
Well, I suppose it's just resetting though, isn't it? I guess I guess it is slightly annoying, but yeah. So if everyone's here, if you can hear both me and Andy, just type in the number 2. If you just hear one of us, type in the number 1. That'd be a good quick one. There we go.
We got some twos. That's brilliant. Thanks,
hey,
Jay,
excellent.
Bob.
Hello.
Warren. Hello.
Warren.
Number 2, Rex Van Staden. Hi.
Rex Van Staden.
So,
that's the coolest name I've ever seen.
It's cool,
isn't it?
Brilliant. I love the names we got on here. So we got 2 minutes before official start time. So, but because we're using Webinar Geo, which is still relatively, I've done some webinars with it, and I do love the platform, but it's still fairly new to me. So I like to come on, and because this one had a slideshow, just wanted to make sure that everything was going to work for that. Yeah. Plus, it's good to say hello to people before we officially get started.
I think so. We never do this, do we?
No, it's always good to chat. Oh, look, there's some Society 11 members in as well. Lovely to see you. So, it is unusually warm here today. So yes. I've had to open the office windows so that it's not absolutely roasting. But the downside of that, Gizmo has to stay shut in his cage, and he hates that. So he's squawking at me now.
Good.
Because I'm talking on air.
I don't like that bird. When I was there, it tried to peck its way through that cage.
Yeah, it's trying to rip my fingers off at the moment because ow, bloody hell, just bit me. That's good. Anyway, poor Gizmo, nothing.
I mean, I suppose just a bit of behind the scenes for people. I don't know if there's an echo, but I can hear myself as an echo. Just a bit behind the scenes. Obviously, Andy and myself have been trying different webinar platforms, and I think so far this has been pretty good, isn't it? This webinar.
Yeah.
You know, we've tried Webinar Jam, Easy Webinar, Demio, Zoom, GoToWebinar. And I think out of all those, Michael's lost us, he says.
I can still hear you though.
Okay. This one seems to be the best one.
Yes.
And I think that
they all have their limitations. That's the thing. Like this one, we can't play video in. Like we can't play a YouTube video. Not yet, anyway. I believe that. Oh, actually, I say you can't. You might be able to on the whiteboard. Let me just jump across and test this before we get started.
Yeah, sure. Price. I mean, some of these range from. I mean, one is $400 a month. Is the most expensive. I think this one is it $47 a month? I think. And there's a general rule for $500 a year, but to range from $50 a month to $400 a month is just crazy.
All right, the answer to that is no, we can't do a video.
Right. Okay.
I'll talk to Mr. Bayliss later and find out when that's getting added. I'm sure it will do. Right, but we are a minute past 7, so we will get started officially. So, welcome to one and all to the Listed Building Super Formula webinar, in which we are going to spend the next 30-40 minutes talking to you a bit about list building, and in particular a formula for list building that works and is solid, because the one thing we have noticed is that a lot of training on list building is very old school, and they're still telling you to do things that, quite frankly, don't work, or they work but they're nowhere near as effective as they were 5 years ago when the training was written. So we wanted to put together a little bit of training, give you guys some pointers. So I will say right off the bat, there is nothing for sale on this webinar, okay? So if you've got your credit card in hand or your PayPal login handy, put it away, you don't need it. There is absolutely nothing to buy today. This is free training because you're valued customers or subscribers. All we ask is that you give us your undivided attention for the next 30 to 40 minutes. Shut off your Facebook in that other window where you're looking at pictures of cats. Shut down your email, mute your phone, do whatever you have to do, because we've got a lot to cover and we're going to give you a lot of useful information, and I want you to get the most out of that. I don't mind giving my time up for people that are going to take advantage of what we're teaching.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing here today.
If you do stay to the end, I'll give you a product for free.
Oh, there we go. So we've got a little hook. There you go.
Yeah.
Stay to the end. We won't tell you what it is.
No.
All right, then. It might be something useful. Okay, so our goal, there you go. If you stay at the end, he's giving you something. All right, that's what I want. If you stay to the end, what we'll also do is we will show you, we will tell you about an opportunity to work directly with Richie and myself. But what makes this different today is that this is real world training. This is me. I've been doing this internet marketing thing for, there's really some other words on that slide. I think they've gone missing. Oh no, here, they're coming up one at a time. Right, okay, there you go. I've been in internet marketing since 1999. It is what I do full time, okay? I don't have a part-time job, not that there was anything wrong with people that do this part-time, but this is my full-time thing. And what I'm showing you is really a system that works for me. I'm going to show you the things that I actually do. And I'm going to show you, there are some shortcuts that I've picked up along the way as I've been doing this. And I get to impart those to you, because there aren't genuinely that many shortcuts in this business, okay? It does come down to actually putting in the effort and doing some work. But when you've been doing it as long as I have, you find that there are one or two things where you can take a shortcut, or you can do things the easy way. And I don't know about you, but I like working smarter rather than harder. So, and the idea here is, we've got people that can't hear us here. Yeah, I'm the only one speaking right now. Warren can hear me. I'm going to keep going, hopefully.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay, people
if you can hear me, put a 2 in. If you can hear Andy, put a 1 in. If you can hear both of us, put a 3 in.
There you go. And what we're going to show you here is that we are going to show you things that mean you don't get stuck on the normal launch wheel and stuff. I've been doing this for 15 plus years. Well, it's about 17 odd years now. That was me in 1999 or round thereabouts, maybe a little bit before, when I had hair still. And in those days, I used to wear a suit every day. I haven't worn a suit in years because I work from home. I wear jeans and t-shirt every day. I wear what I'm comfortable in. But the one thing that's been consistent over the 15 plus years I've been doing this is that many of the basics of marketing that worked back then still work today. Over the years, I've done an awful lot of things the hard way, but I have discovered the easier ways, and that's what we intend to show you. And a little tip there, getting some mentors, getting some help is the best thing I ever did. Richie, tell them about yourself, and I'll put up the details on the slides.
Fantastic. Okay, great. So I'm pretty sure everyone here knows me. It's nice to see some familiar faces joining us. Thank you very much, and thank you kindly. My name's Richard Nolan. For those of you that don't know me, I've been online and making sales since January 2014. I'm almost feel a bit embarrassed to say I'm an international speaker around the world, creating multiple success stories. It's always odd sort of talking about yourself. I sort of don't want to big myself up, but I mentor coaches at six-figure business levels as well as complete newbies. And one of the things I love doing is actually working with either newbies or people who want to hit sort of 5 figures a month. I do have a good track record as an online marketing consultant as well, and helped a huge amount of businesses all over the world. Also privileged to say that I teach coaches in multiple different niches in sort of golf, self-help. I am's where I started, so I do have a soft spot for it, but marketing is my passion. I was a actor for many years. Next slide, please, Jeeves.
Oh,
here we go.
Do you want the actor one?
No, that's fine. So this is for when I very first started. I'll just hit you with some figures. Now, I was a complete newbie. Didn't even know what internet marketing was. Didn't know what an affiliate was even. Didn't know the whole concept of selling information online was completely new to me. And I actually ended up doing $27,000 in my first 3 weeks. I hit 100K in 3 months, and then that plaque there was an award given to me because I hit $1 million within 12 months. I'm actually probably knocking on the door of 3 million now, which is crazy. I don't have any qualifications. I don't even feel I have a particularly solid skill set. All I did was work with a mentor and work very hard. And I adore this industry. Now, it wasn't always successful. It wasn't always like this. I would like to say a job an actor. I wasn't even that. I went into the out of work actors industry. That that picture on the left I'm right on the left there in the leather jacket. That's me in 2006. Fresh out of drama school. That was a movie called Across the Universe. Spent 2 years making it. And that on the right there was me doing a Shakespeare play. And that was kind of what I majored in. So I did 27, I think, plays over the years, Shakespearean plays. And I was broke, constantly broke. I graduated drama school at the age of 22. I decided when I was 30, right, I looked at my bank account and I thought, right, I've got less money in my bank account than I did when I graduated drama school and had enough. And that's when I decided to go into internet marketing. But it was tough times. I remember even being in situations where I couldn't even afford the 70p bus fare to get to an audition. It was really tough, really tough. So, I was broke from the age 0 until 30. Now, I'm motivated. Yeah, go on.
These are the many reasons. I'll give feedback now. Throw me. These are the many reasons why we do what it is that we do. We're both the same, really. We both love working from home. In my case, I've got quite a big family. I get to go to all the things that my kids go to. I get to go to the cinema in the middle of the day when it's quiet rather than when everyone else is in attendance, which suits me. I've been to big blockbuster movies when someone else there. I get to choose my own hours. And we travel the world, or Richie especially travels the world. I don't do as much traveling as he does by a long way. But we can work anywhere that there is an internet connection. So
yeah, absolutely. It's one of the big draws. I mean, I was saying last week that I figured out that my little girl, who's 2, has been to 16 countries with me over the past 12 months, which is astounding, really, because I'm still working the whole time. And it's just that that I am dream. All you need is your laptop. Nay, all you need is your phone, your smartphone, an internet connection, and you can literally work anywhere in the world.
Yeah, Richie's travelled loads and loads of places. Australia.
Australia, Singapore, US, Mexico, Brazil, Mallorca, France, Turkey. God, been everywhere.
I'm going to Cardiff next week. Okay, this is a picture. The guy on screen you see now is Adam Jackson, someone that I've been working with for a few years now. That basically is some nice words that Adam said about me. Adam runs a business called Snap It Apps. Among other things, he's also a published author. I've worked alongside Adam, given him advice, helped him build up his business and things like that. So, along my way in internet marketing, I think it's fair to say I've done a lot of things right. And that might sound very arrogant and big-headed until you see the next slide, because I've done an awful lot of things very, very wrong. I've discovered a lot of stuff the hard way, which is good for you because it means that you get to cheat and you get to find the easy way. Who here wants to know the easier ways of building a solid business that actually puts money in the bank? And I'm not talking about some get-rich nonsense. I'm not talking about these little nonsense products you see called $2 Tycoon or 5-minute profits or whatever they're called, because let's face it, they're normally just a load of guff, aren't they? I mean, they're some way that might work for 10 minutes until the traffic source is dried up because it wasn't a very good source in the first place. And I'm not interested in that. What I'm interested in is delivering real solid methods that actually work and actually give you a real business, give you something real solid to build on. So let's see some ones in the chat if that's the sort of thing you want to build. Who wants to build a proper business? Who wants to build? Michael does. Good. Joey, excellent. Okay. So if you're here for a get-rich-quick thing, you're going to be bitterly disappointed. What I will say is we will, throughout the course of this, mention from time to time some figures that us or people that we're working with, or we might give you real examples of lists we've built, because this is about list building. So we have to put in this disclaimer by law, which says that the results are not typical. Now, the reality of it is that people that I'm working with, if they actually follow along and do the same sort of things that I'm doing, they're successful too. But they're the people that take action. But if you follow what we're going to show you here today, and you take your notes and you go away and you actually action this and do it, there's no reason why you can't get the same sort of figures, numbers, and things that we'll be talking about. So we're going to be sharing with you 3 pillars of success to do with email marketing. Now, pillar number 1, that might look mighty obvious. You must build an email list, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Pillar number 2, not all lists are created equal. And then I want to show you a 3-in-1 solution. But before we do that, I need to address something, and I know this is going to strike a nerve with 1 or 2 people, but a lot of people that come on these webinars and we talk to them, and we find out that they're still very much invested in what we would call the IM pack, the Internet Marketing Pack. And there's this group of people, and you'll know who they are if you've hung around Facebook groups and internet marketing forums for any length of time. You will know that there are a bunch of people out there that want to get everything done for free or for cheap. They want it all done for them. They don't really want to work. They just want some sort of magic quick fix, a magic button. It's like a win the lottery mentality. They just want a diet patch they can slap on their arm and things like that. They're not interested in developing new skills. If anything seems even slightly hard, they just run away from it rather than actually trying to learn to do it or find a way around it. Most of them are easily distracted. As soon as something, doesn't seem to be working very well, they don't stick at anything long enough to really find out. So, and normally they start doing something and then they get another email that says, oh, now I've got a magic $5 product you can buy that will make you $1 million, and they go and buy that one. And before they even open and read that one, they've pressed another button to buy a different one. We all know those people. We see them online, and maybe some of this you're going, yeah, I do that a bit. And that's fine, because I used to do the same. Most of the IMPACT people make poor investment decisions. In other words, they would rather blow $40 on some magic bean product that's on sale as a WSO or whatever, rather than like investing in running a paid ad that would actually give them a return. Now, be honest. Anyone here, give me a 1 in the chat if I maybe struck a nerve or two with some of you there. If some of you looked at that list that I had up and went, yeah, I've done some of that. And don't be embarrassed, I want you to be honest, because I did exactly the same. You know, many, many years ago now, I was in that position where, because I was trying to learn and trying to get my education, and I thought the best way to do it was to buy all these things. And in reality, I found out that wasn't the case. Lots of you there typing 1. Thank you. Thank you for taking part. Love it when people take part. It means that I know that you can still hear me. I know that we're actually talking about something you're finding, useful here. So, pillar number 1, why build a list? Because let's face it, there are people out there saying, isn't email marketing dying? Isn't email marketing on its last legs now? Because we've got all these other things. Okay, so here's some facts about email marketing for you. In the 17 plus years I've been doing this, email is the one constant thing that was there 17 years ago and is still there today. And in 17 years has shown no signs of actually slowing up as a marketing method. Whereas things like social media, well, that comes and goes. And even social media platforms at the time were so massive, people couldn't imagine a day where they wouldn't be there. And I mean things like MySpace. Remember when MySpace was just huge? Bebo, Squidoo. Everyone was doing Squidoo lenses and could never imagine a day when that was going to dry up. The old original social network, Friends Reunited. And then you had things like MSN and AOL and Yahoo groups and chat and things like that. And these were all platforms that had big, big audiences. And now they're either they don't exist or they're derelict ghost towns or whatever. And here's the thing. We might look now at how massive Facebook is and go, yeah, well, Facebook's always going to be there, isn't it? But we don't know that for sure. And I'll give you an example. If you go back to when I started online, internet search, the biggest internet search engine was Yahoo. And no one could ever imagine a day when Yahoo wouldn't be the number 1 in search. And guess what? A little company called Google came along with a very little plain search engine and totally devastated Yahoo and took over chat and even got themselves in the dictionary, and it became a term to Google something. And now let's face it, we can't imagine a world without Google. It could still happen. It looks unlikely. But the thing is, we couldn't imagine Yahoo not being there, and it's still just there on the periphery now. There's many platforms and group things that we thought would always be there and are now nothing. Yet, email is still there. I can still send an email out to my audience and I can tell them about a product or service of mine or a product or service that I recommend, and I will reach people. And I will reach far more than if I post it on Facebook. And it doesn't matter how many hundreds of thousands you've got in your Facebook group. It doesn't matter how many likes you've got for your page. It doesn't matter how many tens of thousands of followers you've got on Twitter. Because you can have tens of thousands of followers on Twitter and you can spam the hell out of the thing and you won't make a penny. Email has been constant though, because guess what? If you want a Facebook account, you've got to have an email address. If you want a Twitter account, you've got to have an email address. So email is the one thing that holds all of this stuff together. And so people, I think, always will have email. It is a form of communication. So it's going to be there. Now, here's the things that every successful marketer that I know has told me. These are like key things that come up time and time again. Because I go off to these business networking things. I run a thing called the Iron Pub on a Friday night. We have marketers come on and we sit and we chat and whatever. And all the marketers that are making money doing this stuff and actually have built successful internet businesses all tell me the following. Number one, they all wish they had started building their email list sooner. They all understand the value of automatic follow-up sequences, and most of them wish they had understood that sooner than they did. They also understand the power of segmenting lists and they understand how to use funnels and flows. Now, here's the thing. These are fundamental things to doing internet marketing. And yet, so often, I see these guys on Facebook posting about, I found a way of making loads of money. Type yes if you want more detail. And then they get 2 people and they send them a link, or they make the odd affiliate sale and they think they got business. But they haven't got business, because really all they've got is they're making $10, $20 here and there when they manage to get somebody to buy. And that's not really a business. It's not really something that's always going. And they've got to find the next $5 magic launch thing to pump out there the next day. They don't have an engaged audience. So the way that we do things still very much has email marketing behind the scenes. Now, I'm not saying email marketing is the be all and end all. But I am saying that it is that all the marketers I talk to talk about how critical it is to build a list, and they wish they'd done it sooner. And yet when I talk to people that are new to internet marketing, or even people that have been doing it a year or two, and they're bumbling on, I go, great, how's your list building going? And they go, I haven't got a list yet. Oh, I've got like 50 people on it, but I never mail them. And you're like, what? It is like the lifeblood to what we do. Okay. Pillar number 2, thing that I really want you to understand today, is that not all lists are created equal. There are 2 types of subscriber. All right, there are those people that have asked you for a free gift. Normally, that is what you would do to get them onto your list. You ethically bribe them, and you bribe them with what we would call a lead magnet. So you get those people, they come onto your list and they go, oh yes, please, I want your free report on 250 ways to make $8 billion in the next 3 minutes. So they put their email address in to get it, and they are now on your list. And what most people at that point do, sadly, is spam the hell out of it. Well, it's not spamming, it's not unsolicited, but they blast the heck out of that list with promotion after promotion, and then people just unsubscribe, or maybe they buy the odd thing. And then they become buyers. Most people don't establish the difference. The other type of subscriber is a buyer, somebody who has bought something from you, and it doesn't necessarily have to be one of your own products, okay? It can be that it's a sale of a product that you earn a commission on, and you're able to track that. And it doesn't matter what the dollar value of that sale is, okay? And this is critical, because people think, oh, okay, a buyer. A buyer, if they spend $1 with you, you now know something about that person that you didn't know before. You know that they, number one, we know a couple of things. Number one, they have the means to make a payment. And more importantly, you know that they are prepared to do it. They're not afraid to get out their credit card or type in their PayPal details or whatever it is they need to do. And that's the difference in a buy. Now, it could be someone that's just bought one of these just pay the shipping deals that you see floating around. You see people saying, I'll send you my book for free, you just pay the shipping. Those are the same things, though, because in order to get the free thing, they have to put in some details. They have to put in a credit card or whatever to pay the $3.99 US shipping and handling. So that's still buyers. You need to understand the difference between these two. Now, here's the thing. What you're trying to do as a marketer is turn the people that have asked for something free and are sat on your free list, you want to turn them to a buyer as quickly as you possibly can. Because you're going to pay your autoresponder company or whoever you're using for your list management, you're going to pay them for every subscriber and every person that you have in your audience. So really, what I look to do once we get people in, and we'll show you a funnel on how this all works in a moment, what we try and do is that we bring people in, they ask for something for free, and then what we do over a course of approximately 21 days is the longest, okay? But what we're trying to do, though, is make them do this in the next few days, is either buy something or unsubscribe. And that sounds wacky, because everyone goes, I've worked hard to get my subscribers, why would I want them to unsubscribe? The fact is, there are some people that will find their way onto your lists, and you are not the right person to sell to them. Okay? I am I'm probably quite a Marmite type person. People love me or hate me, and that suits me down to the ground. I would rather be polarizing and have people that like the way I teach and people that hate the way I teach. It's the ones in the middle I can't do anything with. The ones that hate, they're just going to go away. The ones that love are going to buy from me, are going to become lifetime customers, and are going to, and I'm going to build relationship, and then more importantly, I'm going to be able to help them. The ones that sit in the middle can't really do much for them at all. So I want to polarize, and that's really, really critical. And we're going to show you a way as we go through this of how you can do that. So we have like a 3-in-1 kind of solution that we want to tell you about here. So this is the old way that an awful lot of people are still teaching, okay? And I'm sure you guys have come across this. Who's seen this? Well, all you need to do is get some bit of PLR from like a resale right site, and that's your lead magnet, no real effort, right? Then you just chuck some traffic at a squeeze page and they get that PLR crap or whatever it was. You probably don't even know what it is, you probably didn't even look at it, right? And then what you do is you just send offers to the list and you make some money. And the truth is, it doesn't work. Number one, the free bar, the level of what you give away for free has gone up, okay? You can't just give people some junky piece of PLR and hope that they're going to love you. So what's going to happen? They're going to open that up, and the first thing that's going to become very apparent is you didn't write it. It's not by you. What's that going to do for you? So you're now immediately saying, and also a lot of PLR, let's face it, is crap. So what you're actually doing quite often is delivering to somebody something that isn't very good. And what's that saying to them? I don't really value you. I just wanted your email on my list. And people are far more savvy than they used to be. And you really have to get that and understand it. So this model doesn't work. It's really hard to break even on your traffic costs. It does nothing to elevate you in the mind of the prospect, which is really, really important. So, and why it doesn't work, well, I've just told you that. The free bar has moved by a long way. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And what you need to do when you get somebody first coming into your audience and first making contact with you and picking up whatever it is from your list and opening your emails and stuff, what you're doing is you are building a rapport with that person. You are positioning yourself. You are giving them useful information, often for free, but that positions you and shows that, number one, you care, that you're giving them good stuff, without just to help them. You're giving them good stuff. And that then establishes you, number one, as an expert. And number two, they find out if you're somebody that they actually like and they want to do business with. And some of them won't, and that's okay. But when you're doing it the old just chuck some PLR up way, well, number one, you're showing total disdain for the people you're adding to your list. How are they going to come to like you? All you did was give them something that was quite, and let's face it, PLR, it's obvious to tell when it's PLR most of the time, unless you seriously rework it. And I'm not against doing that, but most of these courses just go, I'll just get something with resale rights, give it away. And if you do it that way, you have no unique selling point, because you're giving away the same junky thing that probably 300 other people are giving away as well. So you have no real value proposition in there. Okay, so imagine a way that effectively made all your paid traffic free. It built and segmented both kinds of subscriber that we talked about a moment ago, the free people and turn them into buyers. If it also shows you how to get the maximum benefit, even from the tire kickers you end up on your list, because you're going to get some people that are never going to buy anything. They're only going to sign up for the free stuff. They're not really buyers, but there is a way of maximizing the potential from those people and using them to help you land people that are buyers. Imagine a way that established you as the absolute expert and built a real foundation for an internet marketing business. And the thing is, there is a way to do that. And I'd like to explain it to you now. Who wants to know? Let's see some ones in the chat if you want me to explain the way that meets all those criteria. Here come the ones. Good. Just making sure you're all awake, guys. I'm going to show you what we call the total funnel formula. I'm going to break it down for you, and I'm going to explain how it works. So, this is a really, really basic funnel, okay? So, at the top end here, we're putting traffic into our funnel. And I'm sure that one or two of you are probably thinking, well, where do you get the traffic from? And I'm going to tell you this much at this stage. Traffic is never a problem. I can turn on a traffic tap 10 minutes from now and have traffic going to any page on the internet that I want it to go. Good, targeted, solid traffic. We live in an age where we are so spoiled, right? Because years ago, you had to arrange various things and wait for things to happen. And you imagine the guys that did direct marketing in the print days. Crikey, they had to run a bit of print copy and wait 6 weeks to know if it had worked or not. I can put up a landing page this afternoon and send traffic to it an hour later and know immediately how well it's converting, because I can get 100 clicks to it, enough to give me a percentage really, really quickly. So we are so spoilt today. It's so easy to turn traffic on very, very rapidly and send it to anything you want to send it to. So what we do is we take that traffic and we send it to what we call a free or JPS offer, JPS standing for just pay the shipping. Recommend when anyone starting out goes for the free digital offer. It's far easier. There's no logistics, there's no shipping, there's no processing. You don't need a warehouse. You don't need to get involved with drop shipping or anything like that. But be aware that you could at this stage put a just pay the shipping offer in. And in some cases it's preferential because it means that everyone that grabs it, you know, is a buyer. Now, what happens to the people once they have requested that thing that is free? Do you take them to a page and it goes, thank you, here's your download? Nope. What you need to do is that download needs to be delivered to them via email. So your autoresponder picks up the slack now, and that is going to deliver a link or a download to whatever it was that you offered them for free. Now, it's very important as well that this free offer is constructed properly, and we'll come back to that. Okay, they get your free offer. So what they now go to is a page. Now, the way that we construct this is our page is a thank you page. It goes, thank you so much for requesting whatever your free gift is. We're delighted that blah, blah, blah. And it is winging its way to your inbox as we speak. But before you go off looking for that, let me ask you a question. And what we are doing here is we are segueing a thank you page into effectively a sales page. And what we're going to do is we're going to put in front of them a bargain offer. Okay? And if you've got your pens and paper handy, write this down. Your bargain offer typically is going to sell for $7. Now, that isn't set in stone. I've done bargain offers that have sold for $2.95. I've done bargain offers that have sold for $17.27 and so on. Okay, but typically speaking, with the way that we're talking here, let's just say that we're going to work with something that costs $7. All right. As I say, numbers not set in stone. It's not a magic figure or anything like that. But that's what we work with for now. Okay. Now, what happens at this stage? Well, some people buy the $7 offer. Brilliant. And when they do, you can now segment them as a buyer into a separate list. But we're not done. Because what we do is that we now take them to another offer. And we call this a 5x offer, 5 times offer. And the reason we call it that is because typically it costs 5 times more than what you sold the bargain offer for. So if your bargain offer was $7, then it's going to be close to 5 times. So we normally work on $34 for whatever the 5x offer is. But it's approximately 5 times the price of whatever you sell the bargain offer for. And some people will buy that there and then on the spot. But if they don't, it doesn't matter, because there's more going on behind the scenes. I'm going to come back and explain these 2 bits in a minute, but this is basically a little down. So if they say no to the 5 times offer, we're going to take something out of the offer and offer it to them for close to twice the price of what the bargain is. So we might come down and say, well, okay, how about I take out the checklist and that video on this, and I give it to you for $14. So it's just another way of recouping some income. What we're interested in doing here is paying for this traffic and making this traffic free. Some people will buy into this right away. You'll make you, and that's straight through. That's fine. If it doesn't, though, there's this other thing going on in the background. All the people that pick up your free offer are being put onto an email delivery and follow-up sequence. That is where their free gift is delivered. And it is also going to have a follow-up sequence of emails that are very carefully constructed so that they run for a period of, we do a 3-week sequence. That does not mean an email every day, but it's 21 days. But some days they don't get an email. But we've got a very set pattern that we use for mailing out. So certain points in the sequence you do mail every day, and at other points you mail every couple of days, and so on. And this is just the way that we've developed our sequence, and we found out what works over time. Anyone that buys gets automatically moved from this freebie list into what we call a premium follow-up list. And some of those people would have only bought the $7 product. They might not have bought what you're offering for $34 or whatever. So these people are going to get a similar thing, helping build your relationship with them, helping establish you as an expert, and so on. And then what we're going to do, as they go through that, and they're on the premium list, they're going to get offered things that are slightly better. Okay, so John says, this is all bullshit. All I want to do is get people on a list at the end and sell your coaching shite. Well, fine, John. Don't stick around. Feel free to leave. That's absolutely fine.
All we want to do is get people.
But I'm telling you that what we're showing you here, whether you buy anything from me, and I'm not saying anything. I've already told you that I'm not saying anything today. There's no money. I'm not taking money off anyone on this call. There's no buy button. There's nothing like that at the end. And what I'm showing you here is a big picture. And if you action this, you, like an awful lot of other people I've shown it to, well, you could make money. You won't, John, because you've got the wrong mindset. And as long as you've got that mindset, you're going to be stuck there and you're not going to make a penny. And you're just wasting your time, and you're wasting our time being here. So feel free to leave, because you clearly, if you're coming on with that attitude, then there's absolutely nothing anyone can do to help you.
It is interesting. And I wonder why John's got that mindset. I'd probably say it's because, he's been through a bad experience, and that's absolutely fair enough. If you have been a bad experience, but you can't come into something or move forward with that level of negativity, because you're always gonna have that seed of doubt placed in your mind. So, to sort of make a comment like that, John, obviously you've been burnt, and I do feel for you. However, that's not going to help you moving forward, my friend.
There you go. Whether you, I'll be completely honest. When we get to the end of this, I will tell you about an opportunity to work with Richie and I. You don't have to do it. In fact, you can't buy it. You can't go, yes, please, and buy anything. There's nothing to buy. I can't make that any clearer, right? But we will tell you about the fact that Richie and I have got some spaces at the moment where you could work with us, and we will talk to you and find out if it's right for you. I'm not going to hide that. I'm not going to disguise that. I'm not going to pretend that's not there. But let me tell you something. That is completely flipping optional. We have an application process anyway, and we turn away 90% of the people that apply. So it's not like we're desperate for the people. We only want to work with people we can make success stories out of. And that is why on our coaching program at the moment, we have got people who 7 weeks in have got a complete funnel built and are about to drive traffic into it and start making their first money.
Yeah.
We've got people that have been spinning their wheels for 10 freaking years because they've got the same bullshit attitude that John Hawkins has got. And they've got nowhere because they're Mr. Negative, and they sit there complaining that everything's crap. And we've taken those people, we've managed to turn them around, and in 6-7 weeks, they're making money online, and they're actually building a real business. That's what we're here to help people do. That's why I'm doing this training. That's why I'm giving up this evening. I could be sat outside. It's a beautiful day today. I could be sat outside at my picnic bench drinking a bottle of wine. I don't have to do this. I don't need the money.
Yeah.
There's
I
the
just
thing.
want to make a point on that as well. Andy and I don't do this for monetization at all. The reason that we coach and train people is because we want the success stories. Why do we want the success stories? Because, okay, I'll be honest, it does make us feel good. Also, I'll be honest again, it does raise our profile. Of course it does. Because then that'll create us more traffic. We don't do this as a moneymaker. There is an investment involved, I'll be honest. And the reason there is because we've both tried coaching people for free, and they never do it. They never follow through. They don't have any skin in the game. And you know that's the truth of it. The other side of it, we don't have 500 people on it in a group. I think the maximum is 5, maybe. We're doing it for the success stories.
So we will carry on. We will focus. We'll do what Bernie said there. Calm down, please, and focus on the rest of us, please. Yeah, we haven't gotten you there. But it is an important point to make. No, it's not even about justifying. It's just about the fact that I find it particularly sad that someone would go to the trouble of turning up to a webinar just to go, I think it's all bullshit. It just shows a real crappy attitude, and they're not helpable anyway. So, and the other thing is I find it frustrating because I know this works. I've got success stories. I've got people that prove it works. Okay, so let's finish explaining the funnel to you and how it's working. So you've got people going into a free sequence. If they buy, whether it's a $7 product or $34 or whatever it is, they get moved to what we call premium follow-up. That is because these people already have some trust in you, okay? So those people they're already buyers. They're already somebody that believes in what you're doing because they had to have invested a few dollars with you. Okay, it doesn't matter what that dollar amount is. So those go to a slightly different follow-up. The people in the free follow-up, this sequence is designed to drive them back towards purchasing one of these things up here that's in our funnel, or to some degree, or to unsubscribe if you're not the right person. It polarizes them enough. Do they like you enough to stay around and spend money with you, or are you not the right person to be dealing with them, and should they just leave? That's really what the sequence is designed to do. There is a bit more to it than that. And after the 21 days, you can put extra stuff in there because, hey, you've got a list and you might as well send stuff to them. Even if they haven't responded yet, they might at some point become a buyer. Some people are going to take longer than 21 days to become a buyer. And, you know, we have to remember we were all freebie seekers at one point. Because I don't know about you, when I first started, the first thing I did was I started searching around. And you look online and you search back then Yahoo and Alta Vista in my day. These days you'd Google it. And you would go and you would start finding stuff and you would sign up for some lists and you would get some free reports and you would go through them and you would digest what they say. And in the process of doing that, you would recognize who the people that you resonated and connected with, and they were the ones you were more likely to listen to. And as a result, you know, I've still got guys whose lists I joined 10 years ago. I'm still on them. Marlon Sanders, people like that. I've followed more than 10 years, actually, Marlon. So that's what the sequences are for and why they're there. Oh, let's just go back because I'm going to just finish explaining the other bits of the offer. So I told you about the downsell. Always take something away. Don't ever fall into this trap of saying, oh, okay, maybe the price was too high at 34. I'll just let you have it for 14. That is totally the wrong thing to do for a whole bunch of reasons. Number one, if anyone who paid 34 finds out, they're going to feel pissed off at you. And if they're pissed off at you, they no longer know, like, and trust you. And when they don't know, like, and trust you, they don't buy from you. So you've just screwed it up. Also, if you are going to do that and people know that you do that, what happens in future, any offer you put in front of them, I guarantee they're going to try closing the sales page just to see if they get a discount. And sometimes they'll go, oh, I didn't, and they won't come back. So you're losing people. You're conditioning people to think, oh, if I try closing, do I get a discount? And I bet there's people on here now who have been when certain sellers have got something up, they go up to see if when they exit if a pop up comes up. I bet there's people here that do that because you've been conditioned by that seller to know that that's how they do it. Okay, and then finally over here we've got something that we call M to HT, it's mid to high ticket offer, and this is the one that scared some people. It shouldn't do, but I'm going to explain it very briefly. Basically, this is a product that is pitched at somewhere in the region of $197 to $497. Okay, so that is a mid to high ticket offer. Now, here's the thing: you go, oh, I haven't got anything. I don't know what I could possibly create that people would pay that for, and that's what all of our coaching students say, and then we show them how easy it is to do. But here's the thing: you're not actually expecting to sell any. But why put it in the funnel then? Why are you bothering to go all that trouble of putting something in the funnel you're not expecting to sell? Because it's actually there for multiple reasons. And here's the biggest reason it's there. What happens when someone goes through your funnel and sees and is exposed to the products and services that you offer, and they see that you have got an offer that sells at $497? Now, let's be realistic. This person's come in from traffic, picked up a free offer, maybe spent $734. They're not going to go from this to spending $497. Highly, highly unlikely. You know, wrong. It happens. I've had it happen to me. You will occasionally, you might make a sale, but that's not what it's there for. Here's what this is really here for. When they see that you have a product in that price point, immediately you are elevated in their mind's eye, in there as far more of an expert. If they think all you sell is $7 stuff, and there are people in this industry who have got a reputation for being the guys that sell $7 and $10 stuff, and as a consequence, they've conditioned their audiences to never expect to have to spend any more than that, and they can't ever sell any more than that. When you have an offer like that in your sequence, in your funnels, you immediately are positioning yourself as an expert. And even if they're not going to buy it, what happens is they go, God, this guy's got a $500 offer there. This guy must really know what he's talking about. Now, guess what? They are going to pay far more attention to every word of the content in your bargain offer. They are going to pay more attention to every word of every video in your $34 offer. They are going to watch out for your emails and open them and digest them because they know that this guy knows his stuff, because this is the guy that sells a $500 course. Do you see how the psychology of that works? And you will occasionally sell one. It does actually happen. The interesting thing is, creating a $497 offer, in my opinion, is easier than creating the $34 because of the way we do it. Because it normally will feature some element of live interaction or something like that. So the content is created on the fly as you go. But that's something that we can look at later on. Now, what I want you to be aware of as well with the way that we construct our funnel is that there is this other thing in there that we call a high ticket funnel. And that's why Richie and I call this the total funnel formula, because we take things right the way through from free, right the way through to mid to high ticket, and then into high ticket. Now, I am not on this call going to explain to you the construction of the high ticket funnel. It involves webinars, it involves many other things. There's an awful lot to it, but you need to be aware that it exists. You need to be aware that this funnel doesn't end at whatever that mid to high ticket thing is, or it doesn't end at the $34 or whatever. The other thing you should be aware of is that you can build this in sections, okay? So you do not start off by building everything and then start sending traffic to it. What you do is you create a free offer and your bargain offer, and preferably you construct whatever this is going to be at, say, 34. The minute you've got that, even without the downsell, even without the mid to high ticket, you can start driving traffic in, because you should be making enough sales here to be covering the cost of the traffic. Now, you might not be turning a massive profit. You might just be doing a break even at that point, but you've also got an email list that is going to get followed up and obviously gets offered other things. That's how it works. But Then you can say, right, I've done that. Now I'm going to add in my mid to high ticket, and you can bolt that in. And then you can add this downsell in to catch some of the people that don't pick up the 34, but you can catch them at 14. And then obviously once you've done all of that and got all that in place and that's all working for you, then you can start to construct the higher ticket funnels and higher ticket sequences. Does that all make sense? Give me a 1 if you're still with me and if that makes sense. In a moment, by the way, I will give you opportunities to ask questions. And you can ask us anything. Ask us anything about this funnel, anything about the sequence, and we will do our best to answer it. So here's the thing. For those of you that have stuck around, because we have been going almost an hour now, for those of you that are stuck around, I do want to tell you, and I did tell you this was coming, I do want to tell you about an opportunity that we have, because Richie and I are looking for for some people to work with at the moment. Richie and I do have a coaching program, and we have people that come on those things, and in like 6 or 7 weeks we get. I mean, we've got some people that do it very fast. Really, we're looking for we can work with over a course of a few months. I don't know if Richie wants to jump in and just talk about some of these people that he's worked with.
Yeah, sure. So this is Andy Keane. He's actually from Ireland. Now, he was a successful business owner offline. He had a landscape gardening business. And he was looking to get online for actually a number of years. I was invited to speak at an event in Spain just over a year ago. And he was there, and I sort of did my talk, and I was teaching, and he utilized the training, and then went on, and he's doing now. I'm really pleased to say 6 figures a year online, which is fantastic. So this was something that he posted on, I think it was LinkedIn, completely out of the blue. And then I ended up working with him for a few weeks. What he was doing is just overcomplicating it, really overcomplicating it, and it was just a case of keeping it simple. But really interested, are you guys surprised how simple it actually is? Put a 1 in the chat box there, or if you think it's too complicated, put a 2. I'd be really interested.
Good.
Yeah.
2 1s.
No. KISS, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
So, there's your mate Rash.
Rash. Yeah, Rash came to me again last year. One of my super success stories. He came to me last year. Was really worried about. This is more high ticket. It's more sort of high ticket. He was doing sales. He was like you guys. A couple of you guys that I've been speaking to. Were sort of saying that you've got subscribers, and then you want to get a list of buyers. Now, Rash was really sort of struggling to transition from that point. And as you can see in this, I was coaching him for 6 months last year. And if you look at the results after me coaching him, he just did 25K in a month. So he'll I think he's actually already hit 6 figures this year. So yeah, very proud, very proud of Rash. And for him, it was a change of mindset. So
Lovely guy.
There's your training includes how to.
Oh, it's Bill Hugel. This is
Bill Hugel.
Yeah.
So it's such a shame that you can't see the video.
We got a video of Bill Hugel, which we normally play at this point, but with this platform, I can't work out how to do it, so we don't have the video, which is a shame because Bill does a brilliant Kermit the Frog impression at the beginning of the video.
Yeah, I'll try to do an impression. He says, "Bill Hugel here," and it's incredibly funny. It was more for the comedy factor that we play in that video, isn't it?
It is, to be fair. Bill's a guy that's behind Poolside Profits and things like that. So this is a massive marketer, and again, someone that's worked that Richie's worked with and helped him get to where he's got, which is the important thing. And there is a super video where he just talks about how great Richie is for 10 minutes, and Richie loves playing that.
I always find it a little bit embarrassing with testimonial videos, but But
Yeah.
it's always really nice to hear, and it brings a smile to my face. And although I do love working with established marketers, um, I mainly like working with newbies. But the great thing about Phil, I knew that he was talented at what he did, and really after that training, just added more value by making him better and tweaking his funnel, and particularly his back end funnel.
Hmm. So here's the thing. In our experience, there's two ways that you can get success. You can do it yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. You can learn from your own mistakes. You can grind away. You can plod along. At times, it will feel like you're plodding along in the dark. At times, it will feel like you've hit a brick wall. Provided you can get over that, that's fine. You plod along, you get through it, you work out how to do it, and on you go. Or there's the fast track way. You can get a mentor, a coach, and you can be taught step by step whilst being held accountable. And join, really, if you, in our case, join a group of ever-growing elite students. And this is, I firmly believe Total Funnel Formula is the only program that I've seen that really does teach everything from that low ticket entry point, starting from nothing. You don't have to have experience, which is interesting because Bob's asked a question now, which we'll come to in a second. Right the way through to, and you can take it as far as you want and get right up into the high ticket thing. So we do have a coaching program, and we do currently have some spots available, and we are very, very picky. Okay, I want to make that clear because it drives Richie mad, I know, at times, but I genuinely don't want to work with people who don't have the right mindset. You've got to be at a point. You've got to be at a starting point that we can, take you on the journey and get you where you want to go. There is no coach or mentor on the planet that can take someone who doesn't have the right mindset and isn't really going to apply themselves and make them a success. It can't be done. Because at the end of the day, you have to do some work. Now, the work you have to do isn't that difficult. And if you follow the training and you follow the step-by-step process and you turn up to the calls that we have so that you're held accountable and we take you through, then we can absolutely get you there. Firmly believe that. So let me just tell you very quickly about how the coaching thing works, and then I'll open it up for questions, and you can ask anything about the funnel, any questions you've got. You can ask about anything we've talked about tonight, or you can specifically ask questions about our coaching if you want to and just find out more about it. We have an application form. It is at totalfunnelformula.com/apply. And if you were to go there, you will find a list of questions. And those questions have been carefully constructed. There are 20 odd of them, which might seem a lot, but they have been constructed so that we can, number one, we can find out a bit about you and know where you're at. We can work out if you are the kind of person that we can work with, if you're someone that we can genuinely help. And it really helps basically helps get through that selection process. Now, how it works is this. You fill out the form. Okay. I want to tell you, there is no obligation. Okay. If you go and you fill this form in, and what will happen is that Rich and I sit down and we go through, and if you send an application, if we decide, for example, this isn't for you or you're not ready yet, we will do you the decency of telling you and telling you why. And we'll even point you in the right direction and say, look, if you go and do this, 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 and this, get to this point, and then you can come back. Then we've done you a massive service there, and it hasn't cost you a penny. It's just cost you a few minutes of your time to fill out a form and answer 20 odd questions. If, on the other hand, you are someone that we might be able to work with, then we will arrange to get on a call with you, or Richie will, and he'll have a chat with you, and he'll do basically a strategy session. Do you want to tell them what you do on that call, Richie?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that we sort of plan out the strategy session, it takes up to an hour. The whole purpose is to really go through your application, see if it's a good fit, and if it's going to be a good match. If I don't feel it is, or you don't feel it is, we'll establish that on the call, and we'll still do a strategy session anyway. Okay. So it's really important to fill out that form. If you do want to have an hour with me, one on one, then do fill out that form. As I say, Andy and I will spend the rest of today sort of going through those applications, um, and then obviously we'll sort of do it that way. Now I do go quite deep, so have a pen and paper with you, and it's best to be honest and tell me exactly where you're up to within your business. Um, we don't sort of sell coaching on a webinar or anything like that because I have no idea who you are. So I need to establish and understand where you're up to within your business. You may not even need coaching. You may just need a couple of pointers from me, or either way, I'll point you in the right direction and you'll have a plan at the end of that call. What I do ask for, if it turns out that you're not right for us, if you would give us a testimonial in 2 or 3 months based on the advice that I gave you. That's all I ask in return.
So that's pretty good, isn't it? So you could effectively, by filling that out, get a strategy call, and you know what, one way or another, you're going to go away with some pointers and with some things that are going to help you. And there genuinely is not any obligation on that. Like Richie said, you get the end of that call, not for you, fine. Because if you don't think it's right for you, we don't want you anyway. Because we only want success stories. And plus, if you go through that call and we decide you're not a fit for the program, we have the right to say to you, I'm very sorry you're not a fit. Bye-bye. And that's okay. We part as friends. You still get a lot out of it. Brilliant. So we are hyper-selective. I do want to make that clear. So now, let's just go. Bob asked a very, very important question. In fact, he mentioned a couple. Number one was, does your training include how to step by step? And the answer to that is yes, because not only do we have the coaching calls that you get to come on every week, which are live, but we have a members area where we put additional training, and you get access to all of that, and that's got pre-recorded training, and a lot of that is sort of step-by-step how-to stuff. And on top of that, we have a Facebook group as well, private Facebook group for people that are in the program, where you can ask questions and you get answers and whatever. But it is all very... Now, we're not always going to go, if you come to me and go, can you show me step-by-step how to register a domain name? I'm going to go, well, no. What I can do is I can point you in a direction and where there's a video where you can watch and you can learn how to do it, because I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. Okay? So, like, really simple stuff like that, sometimes I'm going to go, yeah, you just look it up on Google. It's easy, right? But on the stuff that you really need the help with, really, yes, that's step by step. We go through how to actually build the pages and how to do what goes into each product, what you must have, what you mustn't have, how to construct it, how to create a compelling offer, and so on. Bob also says, if he has no computer skills, does your training teach me step-by-step use of a keyboard to achieve the results? No, not quite. I think if you can type that, Bob, you already know how to use a keyboard, so I think we're okay there.
That was my thought. If you've been able to type that message and get on this webinar, I don't understand why you're asking that question. In fact, if Bob's there, do you want me asking how old you are, Bob? Let me know how old you are, because I'll tell you about a chap that I work with. His name's Derek. He's oldest, 86, and he could barely use a keyboard, barely switch on his computer. Okay, and he had the same kind of worries and the same, that I'm not technical, I don't know anything digital, and I mean, he was that old. He was used to spending his life sitting there for oil paintings rather than a picture. And he applied, and he was really in a bad way, to be honest with you. And we started going through the strategy session, which sometimes does turn into a counseling session. And he said, look, I'm 86. He said, look, Richie, and he started welling up and a few tears, and said, look, I've basically wasted my life. I'm a compulsive gambler, and I have been a compulsive gambler for 50 years. I got no money, and you know, 2 marriages and 2 houses, and he as he went on, I was thinking, this is excellent. And he said, what do you mean? I said, that's fantastic. And he said, hey, and I said, don't you see that you're an expert in that field? You're an authority in the marketplace there. So straight away we went to work, and what we did was I taught him how to build a membership site. And in that membership site, all he did was sit there and gave people tips for the best bets to put on that day for NFL, for racing, for drag racing, for Formula One, for baseball, American football. And that attracted a lot of people. People would then win on the bets that he'd advised them to. They put a testimonial on. And this just keeps building and building and building and building. Now it's time to monetize it. And he said, hey, I think that I should be charging $27 a month. I said, no, let's charge 2. Okay, $2 a month. Let me know in the chat box, how many people do you think he has paying him $2 a month? Let me know in the chat box. Late 60s.
Take a guess.
Just hazard a guess. 10,000, okay? 25,000.
300.
Okay. He has 70,000 members paying him $2 a month. Okay? All he does is sit there with a paper, and I might add probably a bottle of Jack Daniels, and reads the paper and utilizes the knowledge that he's built up over those 50 years to give people the betting odds. People win 70. So his revenue is 140,000 per month. Okay? I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you can barely use a keyboard. It doesn't matter. As long as you're adding value into your customers' lives in an ethical way, you find it.
Exactly.
Okay?
So
here's the thing.
Warren asked, could he use iCurator Pro for the products and whatever? The answer to that in short is yes, you can. The longer answer is you might not want to. And the only reason I say that is this isn't a pro. I mean, obviously, iCurator Pro is a product of mine. Okay, so and I'm not here to sell people other products or anything like that. So you don't need to. If you've got it and you want to use it, you absolutely can. But we will show you how to create the things that you need to put in that funnel, even if you've really got very little in the way of tools. If you've got a word processor and if you've got a way of making a video, that sort of thing, then you've got everything you need to create products right away. Shane said, do you continue to promote via email the 5 times and 2 times offers to the people that bought the bargain offer but not the
question.
5 times does the first time through? Brilliant question. And the answer is absolutely you do. The way that we construct the sequence is that we always remind them. Now, we do it in a way that we give them value in those first 21 days, because you want to be seen as somebody that says, that gives them something that positions you as an expert, that gives them information they're not just getting everywhere else, that's written the way that you speak, so that if you connect with them and resonate with them, that's going to work, and they're going to build up the whole know, like, trust thing. And along the way, you're doing things like, and if you haven't yet picked up my, whatever your product is called, it's still available here. So it's like a softer sell in some of it, and then occasionally a harder call to action, like a real firm, go back and check this out, you really need this type of thing. But we show you how we construct those emails, how we write the sequences, and all of that good stuff anyway. But absolutely you do. What you're looking to do with people that are sat on your free list is get them to either jump one way or the other off the list, or buy something, or at least engage with you in some way. I mean, that you will get some that don't buy, but they still love you to pieces, and they might become buyers later on. So we understand that as well. But you're always looking for them to make a conscious decision to do something, even if that decision is to stop subscribing to you. Okay, so
Joey's asked
brilliant,
a good question.
brilliant question. For such funnels, do you recommend info products more? Will it work with software just the same? Okay, yeah, it'll work with either. We have a coaching client at the moment called, am I allowed to say his name? TJ, okay.
Say his first name.
So yeah, I think he's pretty open with the fact that he's now programmed. So, so TJ is a coder. He's been doing programming and technical stuff for a long, long time. In fact, I first met TJ via a coding forum years ago, and then he started following me because he saw that I was selling my software, and he's been following me around for quite a few years. And then one day he decided, you know what? I know how to write the software. I've got loads of products, and he has. He's got lots of product ideas. He just didn't know how to market them. And so we're taking him through coaching at the moment and whatever. He's got his product, so his is all software, and it will work with that just as well as it will anything else. So this will work with either. You can even do a combination. You can do like free information into a low-ticket how-to product, and then you can offer them software that makes the job easier. So that can be another. But they could do it. They could do it without the software, by following the instructions, or they could spend $34 maybe and download something that makes the job easier. So there's hybrids of that as well. And no two funnels that we work on with our clients are the same, okay? We don't pigeonhole people and just go, we're doing this. We initially, when somebody is first taken on, beyond that call with Richie, the very first thing we do is we get them on a call with myself and Richie that we call sort of, I don't know what you called it, an induction call, something like that.
Or orientation, or one, I guess it's a 2-on-1 call.
Yeah, and on that we drill into a bit more about the niche you want to tackle, and we look for the good points about it, the flaws in it, look for the strengths, look for what you can do, but it is very customized. And then once we know the direction you're going, it obviously makes the main coaching calls an awful lot easier. But we're working with a guy in the blood pressure niche at the moment who's health related things. Okay, so he's not doing IM or any of the make money stuff or anything like that. We have got people in the IM niche. We've got a guy in the who's doing software for various things. I'm trying to think what else we've got in there.
TJ posted a video on YouTube about working with us. Shall I share that?
Yeah, share it. Pop the link in. People can watch it. And this is. And it's a video. TJ has been on with us. How many weeks, Richie, roughly?
I'd say
8?
7 weeks. 8 weeks.
7, 8 weeks in. 7, 8 weeks in, and he's gone from. Now, bear in mind, this guy, he did have ideas for products. We refined those, got the products together. He's got landing pages, upsell pages, whatever. He's now already driving test traffic to his funnel.
Yeah.
7 weeks in. Now that's particularly fast because he obviously had product ideas and some things there. But we've even got people who started around the same. We watched one guy build out his entire funnel in 4 weeks flat
from scratch.
Because you can. I mean, at the end of the day, you kind of work a bit at your own speed. I mean, we do move you along, keep you going at a certain pace. That's what the accountability is for. If you want to put your foot to the floor, if you've got more time. Some people in our program, they've only really realistically got an hour or two a day they can spend on their business because they work, they do a job. They go out and they work and they come home in the evening and they chill with their family for a bit, and they've got 2 hours a night to work on their business. And that's fine. We can still get you there if you've only got 2 hours. Then we've got guys like the guy I just said who did his whole funnel in 4 weeks. And it was, boom, done, ready to drive traffic into. Now, obviously, he worked an awful lot more than 2 hours a day on his business. He worked, pretty much, he was just doing it most of the time. And depends what your family commitments and everything else are. So you do have to commit some time to it, obviously. There's work involved. But I don't want you sat thinking, oh, my goodness, I've got to, work every hour there is and whatever.
No, but then we have people like Hamza. He did $4,000 odd in, was that in 7 days?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah,
you know,
it depends on the person, on the product, on lots of other things. But yeah, he came in with literally an idea,
mm,
you know. So and that's the thing. But even if you don't have a clue, like we had a guy that's just come to us, who we've just done orientation call with and everything else. At this stage, he hasn't definitely decided on a niche yet. He doesn't know, or niche if you're American. He doesn't know even what he wants to sell. He just knows he wants to do this marketing thing. He's fascinated by marketing. He wants to learn how to sell online. He's got lots of ideas, and he came to us with like half a dozen. He's got to drill that down and work out what he's really got the passion for and what he's going to go for. But even if you are clueless, even if you sit there going, I don't know what I can sell, doesn't matter. Fill out the application form, totalfunnelformula.com/apply. Fill that out. Get on a call with Richie. Have a chat. Go from there. I guarantee you, brother, you will have, even just doing the call, the initial call with him, even if you decide this isn't for you, you're going to come away from that probably knowing what niche you're going to go into.
Yeah. Absolutely. And he will, by the end of Wednesday, because that's the day that we have our mastermind call, he will have a plan in place. That's one of the things that I've seen over the years working with multiple coaches. You're not left to your own devices. It is, I don't want to use the word intense, but we do hold you accountable to us personally and give you call to action. And, we do make decisions, and very, very direct. So by the end of that call, he will have complete direction on who his customers are, the avatar, who he's targeting, and what kind of pain they're going to be in, and how he's going to resolve that pain.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? And not just about the coaching program. Do you have questions about the funnel? Do you have questions about anything? Feel free, drop them in the chat. You've got us at your disposal for another few minutes, and I'm happy to answer just about anything. We're pretty much open book. Have had someone who sent. I didn't even know you could send private messages on this. Someone sent me a private message. What's the investment, or is? Okay, Richard. Let's normally we get asked, is there an investment? Do you want to? So, boom, go.
Yeah, sure. So there is an investment involved, of course. It really depends on, because there are different levels of coaching. I have no idea where you're up to within your business. But yes, in answer to that, there is an investment involved. Obviously, the strategy call is free. And again, it's not extortionate. It's not $25,000 or anything like that. But yeah, there is an investment involved. But again, I need to understand exactly where you're up to first before I can even think about the level of coaching that you need.
Excellent. Okay. Joey said, "Oh, whoever asked the investment question, thank you." There you go. See, you ask it, Joey. Right. If you've got questions, seriously ask them. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Really don't mind. You can ask anything. And I'd rather you ask the question now and went away. At the end of the day, if you can't ask us a question on here about something you're interested in, you can have another time on a call with us, aren't you? Joey says, sorry, he hasn't got to it. Okay.
And that's fine. It's amazing. Out of the calls that I've done over the years, these strategy calls, I've done well over 2,000 of them. There is an investment involved. But we want to make this affordable to people at the same time. I'm not interested in turning someone who's doing 5 figures a year to a millionaire into a billionaire. I mean, Andy and I both get headhunted by people all the time. More recently, we were both headhunted by someone who does $1 million a month. I'm not interested in working with those kind of people at all. What gives us joy is to see people creating a business so they can look after their families, and they're adding value into their customers' lives, and they're looking after their customers. That's what makes us pump.
Yeah, that is the thing. For us, our main coaching day it happens on a Wednesday. That's when most of our calls and these take place, because I do this. I do this internet marketing thing full time. It's what I do. That's my business. And I never want, and this isn't just something I say to sound good, right? But I never want to earn more from doing coaching than I do from doing what I actually do as a business. Because that, to me, wouldn't make sense. And yet there are coaches out there whose whole business is coaching. So much so they're not even doing the actual stuff they're coaching on anymore. And I think in this sort of business, you've got to have your finger on the pulse of what's going on. We are always researching the newest developments in internet marketing. We're always trying new ideas, new traffic providers, new funnel ideas, new whatever. That's how we develop and grow, and we do things. So I genuinely do the coaching because I absolutely love doing it. And is there a financial upside? Yeah, I get paid for some coaching. But you know what? The irony is, I probably could make more money than I get from coaching if I just took that extra day of the week to do more stuff. Just do what I normally do. That's the thing. I could. But I changed my, and this is one thing that we teach people as well on who come and work with us. When you stop worrying about making money and you switch your focus to just helping people, the money follows. And that's a quote I took. That's something that Robert Kiyosaki, the guy that wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, said. And I took that as like my mantra a few years ago, and I have lived by that. I've absolutely lived by that. And I tell you, it just works out that way. When you go out and say, how can I help? Who can I help? How can I help them? Whatever else, everything else follows. So Joe says, total newbie does okay, makes 4 figures a month. Excellent, not bad for a newbie with minimal effort. Do we only deal with total newbies, or do you work with someone that needs to? No, we work with
everyone.
Crikey, I can't tell you this guy's name because he's a marketer, and you would know him, and it would be unfair. But we had somebody that was on a different level of our coaching, so not we have different things that we offer. But he came to us. Now, this is a guy that's been around a long time. But the fascinating thing was he knew lots and lots of stuff about internet marketing. He'd made a lot of money doing internet marketing. But he was stuck because he hadn't got a real formula for his front-end funnel. And he couldn't, therefore, transition people into the high ticket. So he came and he worked with us. And this guy is someone that's been around years. And if I told you his name, you would know who it was. But I don't have permission to tell you his name. And incidentally, that stands all round. When I said earlier on my I mentioned his name. Some people are cool with us saying their name. Some are cool with. Some people go out and tell people they're on our coaching program. That's fine. Other people don't want that to be known or whatever. And so we do have. There is that confidentiality there. I just point out. I don't want you to think that I'm going to be running around saying, "Oh, well, Joey joined and he did this." Only if you give me permission to say that. So I can't tell you who this guy is, but there was this guy, big name, big-ish name. Not we're not talking Frank Kern or anything like that, right? But a name that if you've been in the IM niche a certain amount of time, you would have come across. Almost certainly would have come across. And he worked with us. He wasn't a newbie.
Yeah.
Equally, the other end of the spectrum, we have had a guy come along that has got literally nothing. I mean, he knows you've got to obviously have a computer and be able to go online. But if you can send an email and operate a web browser, you probably can do most of this stuff, really. And we've taken, we've taken them all the way from the very beginning steps. So we cover it from all angles, and we have entry points in that are suitable for the greenish newbie. And we also have things that are more suitable for. Admittedly, a lot of the people that we get come along are actually people that have a little bit of experience already. Most of them have been spinning their wheels for a while, been buying all these, bullshit $7, $10 products, and they've had a tiny bit of success here and there or whatever, but they haven't got, they just haven't found that thing that will get them unstuck. Because what they really need is someone that they can come to and ask questions. What they really need is somebody that will give them a push when they need it. So, excellent. Bob says he's completed his application. Fantastic, Bob. We'll look forward to looking through that. Genuinely, guys, let me put it to you this way. You're sat there right now. and maybe you're still sat on this call. 17 of you left on there. That's fine. I don't sit here inflating numbers like some people do. Got 17 of you left on here at the moment. And you're obviously still here, and some of you have filled that thing in. Brilliant. Some of you probably haven't. Some of you are thinking, should I, shouldn't I? Let me put it this way. You have got nothing to lose by having the balls to fill out a form. And you've got everything to gain. Worst case scenario, you're going to get on a call, we're going to have a chat with you, and either we're going to go, no, it's not for you, or you're going to go, no, it's not for me. We're part as friends, no harm done, brilliant. I'd far rather do that, but you're going to go away with something you can action, and something you can use, and something that will turn your business around. Far rather you did that, you're going to get something as a result of taking some action. If you've been spinning your wheels for ages, and or you've been stuck in a bit of a rut, maybe you're making a few hundred a month, maybe you're making 1,000 a month, maybe, but it's never got any further than that, and you want to get to the next step. You know what? You've got to take action. And the first piece of action, go to that address that's on your screen and fill out a form. It's not hard. You've got nothing to lose, everything to gain by doing it. So I really would encourage you to do that. We haven't had any more questions in, so we are going to wrap up.
I've had a private question.
Okay.
So sometimes people don't feel comfortable asking questions in front of
that's fine.
Their peers. Why is the application form so long? I'm going to let you answer that, Andy.
I don't think it is. Okay, it's 20. Is it 22 questions?
So it's 21. Most of them multiple choice.
Never. Right. Yeah, most of them multiple choice, and everything on there genuinely has been constructed. And we spent ages trying to decide what to put in, what to take out, and we've experimented and whatever else. That gives Richie a big enough picture of you. And please fill it out honestly. I mean, there's no point in filling it out with bullshit answers and then get on a call and go, oh, no, I didn't mean that. Be honest. And everything you put on that is in complete confidence. Okay. So we don't share that with anyone else. No one else ever sees that. In fact, when we've been through them and we've done, they get deleted, wiped. They're not. We don't keep them. We keep the application forms for the people we're working with until while we're working with them. So we can refer back to it, or we can say to them, well, do you remember you said this on your application? Sometimes you need that callback and whatever. But once they're done and if someone's not working, boom, that's deleted. So there's no record of it or whatever else. I don't think it is a long thing, really. I think it gives us enough information to know enough about you so that we don't have to spend the first half an hour of that call you're going to get with Richie going through those, because he'd have to ask you all that stuff anyway. So saves everyone loads of time. And it also helps us, like we said, there's going to be, we turn away more people than we accept, right? That's a fact. Yeah. I'm not making that up. That really is true, because we want success stories, and I don't want to wedge people into our program because, well, hey, some people's coaching programs, the criteria for whether you can join or not is, do you have some money? Do you have enough money, and will you give it to me? That's the whole criteria, and that's nonsense. Our criteria is if you're the right fit, and if we're the right fit for you, and if we really, really believe that we can make you our next success story, and if we believe that you're really going to put in the effort and everything else, then we'll talk about what the investment is and what's involved. And even then you can choose to walk away. So I don't think it's long.
Not about that. I mean, I've had people who have sort of said, offered a lot more than we charge for. I don't even like to use the word coaching. It's more of a intense mastermind, isn't it? It's more of an intense mentorship. Because if we don't feel, or I don't feel, that you're going to become a success story, I won't offer you a spot. As simple as that.
And here's the thing.
Had people say, right, I'm going to offer you 25k, and I'm like, no, you're not the right fit, mate. You're just not. Okay. And it's not about that.
Okay. So here's there's another private question which I will answer in a second. In fact, let's do this now. It just says, will you make decisions based on just the application? If so, is there an area to explain some stuff further? I ask because some of my answers may make you say, we can't help you. Right, okay. We're going through it. If we were to think that, Richie's still going to speak to you and he'll ask you about it. We're not just going to go, look at that rubbish. Next, move along. Okay. If you take the time to fill it out, and then here's the other reason why it's 20 questions. It's only 10 minutes to fill out. If you're not prepared to spend 10 minutes to fill out a form to get an hour call or whatever it's going to be with Richie, there's something wrong there, isn't there? But no, we're not just going to. We do look at that to work out who we can work with and who we can't. But we will do you the decency of contacting you and saying, we've been through this, we're not sure you're right for it, and here's why. And then you can go, oh, yeah, but what about this? And we go, oh, okay. So there's room for talking, there's room for discussion, there's room for everything. Yes, we're picky, but we are going to, I promise you, if you fill it out, you take time to fill it out, we will communicate with you. It's not just no, next, we'll talk to you.
Yeah.
If you invest the 10 minutes or whatever it's going to take you to fill that out, we will take the time to go through it and to talk to you about it. Can't say fairer than that.
And I'll be honest, guys, the kind of people that we don't speak to are people who, for example, say, right, what I want to do is I want to teach, create an information product where I'm teaching disabled people how to ride a mountain bike. Right.
And that is a real one that Richie had.
That's a real one that I've had. I'm not going to have a strategy session with that person because that ain't going to sell. Who's buying that?
Now, we will talk to them and we'll challenge it.
Yeah.
But some people come in with some preconceived business idea that's clearly nonsense. And no matter what you say to them, you won't shake them off it. Some people, it's just their thinking. They've convinced themselves. They've probably invested 5 years of their life into dreaming about creating the perfect product to teach disabled people how to ride a motorbike.
Yeah.
And while it might be an honourable thing to help a couple of people,
it is.
It's not going to be a big seller, and it's not a money niche. And we will be honest with them. We'll tell them that. But some people just purely won't accept it. And in that case, we're not going to waste an hour of our time on anything because we can't do a strategy call on that because you've got nothing to strategize about.
Yeah. Or some people say one of the questions on there: do you have 7 to 10 hours a week? Because that's what you need realistically as a minimum. But what they say is, if someone says, "Look, I've only got half an hour a week," it's not going to work. For example, or if their business idea is unethical or they don't have the time to put in, then obviously we can't help. We can't help. I mean, a lot of this, we reinvest, as Andy said earlier. The marketplace, it's always changing, it's always evolving. So we like to make sure that we're at the forefront of the very best cutting-edge marketing techniques out there. So we share those techniques and share these different methods with our coaching clients, and then release them publicly 6 months later or a year later.
Michael says, mentoring is what I need. Coaching may help, but advice, counsel in a mentorship as to appropriate niches and so on. Fine. Absolutely fine. Fill out the application form, speak to Richie. We can help you.
And that's more what it is the accountability factor is huge. I know Andy mentioned about top-level marketer, and there are a couple of top-level marketers who apply and indeed are mentored by us. For that sole reason, accountability, because one of the things that we do is there's almost a three-strike rule. If you're not sort of taking it seriously or not taking action, then why would we put the time in? We only want to work with people who are seriously, and we do reflect and project, and it's very, very interactive. If you just want someone to say, right, go and watch that video and see in 2 weeks, this isn't going to be for you. It's not.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, I want to just thank everyone for their time. You still have the web addresses on the screen. I'm sure if you're going to fill it out by now, you've already gone to it. totalfunnelformula.com/apply. Thanks for being here. I hope that regardless of whether you decide to apply to work with us, or if you do and it ends up that you decide it's not for you, or we decide it's not for you, or whatever, I hope that your big takeaway from today is how to structure that funnel, and also the importance of understanding how a list works, the different types of people that you have, and how to maximize that. I hope we've shown you something that you can action. We've certainly given you the big picture of what it is we help people build and what we teach. So I hope that has been of massive benefit to you. Honestly, that funnel that we showed you today, that is the exact funnel that I've used time and time again. And yes, there are other types of funnel, and yes, I use other ones, but this is a good starting one. This is the one funnel I come back to time and time again. Okay, excellent. Thanks, Joey. Joey says, thank you both. Thanks for the webinar and your time. We rock. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you, Michael. There's...
I'll put a link there to our Facebook group as well.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the one that anyone can join.
Yes.
So there's a link to the Facebook group. Feel free to join that, and then that way, if you've got any other questions about stuff, that's where you'll find us. Thank you, Fred. Always good to see you, Fred. I love Fred a bit.
Fred.
Fred's a legend. This guy, when I met Fred Ferguson, this guy wouldn't say boo to a goose, wouldn't get on video, and through sort of the Iron Pub and various other things and whatever, his confidence has grown, and now you can't shut the guy up. But I love him. I love that. Fred knows that I say that with utter love. Okay. Yeah, Fred absolutely does rock. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Thanks for your time. Thanks for being here. We'll see you again soon. Oh, Richie's gift.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah. That was, this is mindset training. It was mindset training. So let me give that over to you. In order to really understand yourself and indeed your customers, you need to get into the mindset of your customers. Let me get that over to you now. There you go. Please let me know how you get on with that.
Yeah, do let us know. It's some deep stuff, some of that, but I got an awful lot out of going through that training, so it's very, very good. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you again soon.
Cheers, guys.